All right, guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pihcam with HuddleGG, and in today's video we are going to be talking about cover 0. Now, over the last couple of weeks we've talked about cover 1, we've talked about cover 2 man under, and in today's video we're going to talk about the rules and how cover 0 is used in Madden and why it works the way that it does. Okay, so with cover 0, it is going to be a man coverage defense with heavy pressure outside of it, and there's no help over the top. Okay, so the 0 in the name suggests that there's 0 safeties over the top, just as cover 1 told us that 1 safety was over the top, and cover 2 man under would tell us that 2 safeties are over the top. So in cover 0, there's 0 safeties helping out, so it is a blitz heavy scheme where everyone else is in man coverage. Now, what you're going to see in Madden is in your playbook and in your formations, there's going to be a variety of different cover 0s, and what's going to change between the play calls is just going to be who are those extra blitzers and who's in man coverage, right? So you see here in double safety blitz, our 2 extra blitzers here on this play are those 2 safeties, okay? If we go to Overstorm Brave, same thing, it is a cover 0 scheme, but the 2 blitzers are now the 2 linebackers up the middle. And then if we go to Silver Shoot Pinch, obviously we have 1 linebacker and 1 slot corner there in the middle. Those are our blitzers on this play. So again, as you look through your playbook and through your formations, you're going to see a variety of different cover 0 calls. They're all going to play similarly when it comes to shading and what they're really designed to do. It's just where that extra pressure is coming from. Okay, so if we come out in Silver Shoot Pinch here and we look at the play art, the first thing I want you to notice is the players that are in man coverage are in off coverage. So if you look at these outside guys and the safeties, they're all playing off of their receiver. The reason that is because, again, we have 0 safeties over the top to help. So they don't want to press and get beat because there's no one over the top to help if they would get beat. So what do I mean by that? If we press the right of screen player here, right? So let's press that right of screen player over there. And what you'll see is if we say hike, that guy's going to have the potential of getting beaten over the top. And if he does, there's going to be no safety there to help out. Okay, so this is just a very dangerous thing to press when you're in cover 0 because you don't have that extra player deep to cover your mistakes, right? So you see over here, as soon as this guy gets beat, your opponent's going to be able to throw that over the top and not be worried about it because, again, there's nobody over the top to help out. Now, if you look to the left side, this guy on the left has short out elite as well, just like my receiver on the right. But you can see that if we're not trying to jam him, our cornerback is going to be in off coverage and able to really match this down the field and cover this much better. You see, obviously, at this point, he's right with that receiver on the vertical. And if you look to the far side of the screen, our receiver over here has already been beaten by a yard or 2. And they're going to be able to throw this time and time again. So just understanding the alignment of off coverage is very important, especially with short out elites right now, the way that they're playing in Madden. You don't really want to jam or try to jam receivers when you don't have safeties over the top. Because at that point, you're just going to get beat for big gains time and time again. And I'll tell you, when people run cover 0 against me, it's easy at that point, especially with short out elite. You just have to throw it over the top. So leaving them in off coverage is definitely the safer option. Some people will jam if they think the pressure is going to come in very quickly, and that is okay at times. But just know it is a more dangerous game if you are jamming because you do have that potential of getting beat over the top. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is understanding the shading of these players. And what you have heard me talk about in these man coverage videos is understanding where the defensive players are shading and understanding why they're doing so by funneling to the help. Okay, so obviously in cover 1, the outside guys were shading their receivers to the inside to push them to the sidelines, and then everyone on the inside was shaded outside to push them to those zones in the middle. Now in cover 0, we don't have any zones in the middle of the field to help out. So what you'll see is everyone's going to defend the inside of the field. Okay, so they're all going to be shaded inside naturally, And the reason that is if you think about it in real life, if this outside receiver here on the left, if he's on an in route or if he's on a C route, which of those is a harder throw to make in real life, right? It's going to be this out route to the corner, right? So in real life, teams are going to want to force the quarterback to throw tighter throws on the sideline because there's less room over there. They don't want to give up the middle of the field because, again, we have no help in the middle of the field like we do in other types of man coverage calls. Okay, so if they run something like 4 verticals here where everyone's running vertical down the field, what you'll see is everyone on our team is going to shade to the inside on these receivers. Okay, so if we go back to the replay real quick, and you can also see, obviously, with a cover 0, we are going to be able to get pressure fairly quickly because we are sending typically 6 players. If we are, sometimes there's actually 7-man pressures, like Spinner and Dollar. That's a 7-man pressure, but you would be leaving 1 player open if you would be running that style of a defense. But what you'll see here is these guys who are in man coverage, they're going to shade to the inside shoulder of these receivers, and they're going to shade inside and try to shade over the top there just to make sure they don't get beat. Okay, again, here, same exact thing. Our DB is turning his hips towards the center of the field, right, or his butt towards the center of the field, and really shading this inside shoulder of this receiver. Same thing over here in the slot, and then same thing here on the outside. Okay, so again, this is something that you will see is very consistent for you if you are playing cover 0. And again, it's just them not wanting to give up the middle of the field because that's a really easy throw. And again, we have no zones in the middle of the field to help. So if you're thinking about this, if you would be running something like a cover 0, where you would need to add help if you're adding help with zones is to the outside, right? So let's say that these blitzers, you don't want to blitz them. You want to put them in a zone to help out. Something that could be very helpful is putting them in curl flats, and then you can use this guy and help out over the middle if need be. But now, if they run a corner route or something, we're going to have help out there because that's where we could be a little bit vulnerable, obviously because everyone is shaded to the inside, right? So you see here, we would be able to shade or put that guy in a curl flat, and it just will help out. And again, certain alignments too will allow you to get little jams here like we saw on this play. All right, where this guy does jam the receiver and reroute him, slow him up. But if we set this to a certain depth, we could get him deeper in this area to help with these corners, because you see our guy is shaded to the inside, so this corner route is open if they do want to throw it. Okay, you see that? That is something that they are going to be able to throw because of the natural shade of your player. Okay, so what we could do if we're on defense is we could put that curl flat on a specific zone drop, right? So let's say we put our curl flats on something like 25. We come on that same play. You'll see now that we can cover where the weakness is on the field because we know how our players are going to be shading, right? So if we do that same thing to the left side of the field here and they run that corner route, you'll see here now that we do have that guy that's going to be in that area to help. Now, from certain alignments, it doesn't always get to the spot you would like it to in Madden. You do have to understand that. But what you'll see here is now we are helping take away this quick throw right on the break, because that is something that our safety, who's in man coverage here, could be vulnerable to due to his shading on this play. But if you take away the quick throw here, like we do, right? They can't throw it right here. Now they have to wait, and if they're a little late on it, that allows our guy to recover like we did here, and we could make the pick. So just understanding that putting players in outside zones like that can be very helpful when you are using a cover 0, because again, that's where your players are vulnerable at. Okay, and that's going to happen with all of those defenders, right? Every defender in man coverage is going to be shaded to the inside, just because, like I said, that middle of the field is wide open, and our players don't want to give that up. So again, hopefully this helps you understand cover 0 and understand how you want to defend it with your user, knowing that, again, your man coverage defenders are going to do a good job of helping out on anything breaking to the inside, because again, they want to shut that middle of the field off. But where you could be vulnerable at times is those outside breaking routes. If you've made it to the end of this video, odds are you're serious about becoming a better Madden player, and we're here to help. On our website at HuddleGG, $9.95 a month unlocks all of our full game plans created by some of the best Madden players in the world. You'll also have access to our private Discord where Madden pros will answer your questions and help take your game to the next level. Have a great day.